Hey guys, what's going on? DBS1A. Earlier today it was raining. I wasn't gonna ride, and then I looked outside, I saw sunshine. I said, oh no, I had to get my bike ready. Hopped on, was checking the oil for a little bit. I'll tell you about that later, reason behind that. And yeah, I'm on my way to work. Taking another route today, actually. One of the things I wanted to talk about, one of the guys and I were talking on a forum, on a Buell Rider forum. We were talking about basically about riding and listening to music. And I wondered how many of you guys actually ride and listen to music. Personally, I don't. Never thought about it, and recently did think about it, and after talking to him about it, and I don't know, I was just like, nah, I don't know, I don't think so. I think I'd rather be a bit more focused on the ride than pretty much anything else, you know. That would my main concern for the most part, and everything else is probably gonna, you know, for me is gonna come afterwards. I don't know. I just don't know if I could do the listening to music and riding, because you know you really, I mean, I guess it would be the same as vlogging and riding, but I don't know if I could do the listening to music and ride part. That might be just a little much. But what's your guys' opinion? I want to know what you guys think. You know, is this something that you do, and do you feel it takes away any of your attention to riding when you are riding? Look at this view off to the left. It's freaking amazing. It's actually in one of my earlier vlogs, you probably saw me. I did a video over here where I stopped there when I was on my way home from work. What was that, vlog 4, I think? Something like that. And that mountain over there where you see the snow line coming down, you can actually ski down that, or snowboard, or ski, or I don't know, slide on your butt. Whatever you decide you want to do, up to you. So anyway, as to why I had to check my oil today, well, I had an issue. I had a rocker box gasket leak on my Buell, which we all know, or if you don't know, as front half. Well, this Buell Blast front half of a Harley Sportster motor, and it's only one cylinder, not two. So, and I had to basically pull it apart and change that rocker box gasket. And while I was in there, I just changed all the other gaskets too. You know, I figured it may as well make sense. And sorry for the arms. And I'll do it again. So what ended up happening, how I ended up really figuring it all out. One day I was riding home from work last week, and I noticed the bike sounded weird. Like it didn't even sound like how it does now. It just had this low brrr, and then the power really got low, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell's going on here? And I knew something was wrong, because you know your bike, you know when it doesn't feel right, or when it's off, or God knows what. So I just slowed off. I kind of just coasted it to the nearest gas station, and get over in this lane here. When I got to the gas station, I checked the oil. When I checked the oil, I'm looking at the dipstick, which dipstick is right here. I look at the dipstick, there's freaking nothing in there. I'm like, holy shit, there's no oil in this joint. So I had suspected earlier, and I checked it earlier in the day when I got to work, and I noticed it was low. I said, okay, I don't see it touching between the 2 marks. On your dipstick, you have 2 marks. It has to be in between those 2 marks. So I didn't see it touching in between those 2 marks. And I went, I got a quart of oil from Advance Auto. Threw in half of that quart, or maybe a little less actually. And said, okay, you know, usually it doesn't take much if your bike's pretty much on point. It doesn't take much. Get off my ass, you know. So I said, okay, threw that in, start riding, and I think what ultimately ended up to it happening and really rearing its ugly head was I was riding along and a few sport bikes was going by, and I just fuck it, I just started hanging with them for a little bit, doing about 80, 85 straight on up the road. And then lo and behold, I got a little further up, closer to where the gas station was, and I started to hear that sound. And I said, holy crap. Pulled over, checked it out, and sure enough, I just threw the rest of that quart I had in there, and you could hear the idle coming back. It started to, because it's a thumper, so you could hear it thumping a lot better. They're repairing the road over there, good, do a good job. And you could hear it coming back, you could hear it getting better. And so that's when I realized, oh shit, I look in the front of the engine, I can see where it's leaking from. So I nurse it home, take my time, just nurse it home, start pulling it all apart, and change all the gaskets, go to my local Harley shop, which is Maroonies, get all the gaskets. They had everything in stock. That was freaking awesome. They had all the stuff in stock, so I just got everything from them and put it all together, buttoned her all up, sealed her up, and I'm back riding. Just had to check the oil. I ended up adding about a full quart recently just to get the oil back to where it needs to be now, in between those 2 marks. So right now it's in between those 2 marks, and while I was at it, I also checked the timing, reset the timing back pretty much to stock parameters, and she sounds better, she accelerates better, the exhaust tone is much better. Also reset the idle air screw, and she just sounds like so much better now. Of course, I'm gonna be pulling it apart to put in a new jug and piston, which, because I'm increasing I'm actually going to be increasing the CCs on it from 498 to 515, and dropping that XP9 head on here. So I'll be pulling it apart again. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Shit, it's water.